how would starting Trey Lance affect the other team's defense? There's things I think that they can't do.
Yeah.
And one of the things you had Coach Noah Johnson on earlier this
Mhm.
week, and he talked about this cover one scheme
Yeah.
where you've got one less rusher, right? You've
Mhm.
got the
Mhm.
guy, I think he called him the green dog, right?
Right.
Where
Yes.
he's not rushing right away.
Right.
You've got to take that robber that's playing in cover one,
Mhm.
and he's got an additional responsibility,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And
Now he's a
so,
spy. Yeah.
right.
Right.
And so I wanted to talk about, even if Trey Lance is maybe not as good of a quarterback as Jimmy, what all does he do
Mhm.
from the other team's defensive perspective that would make the rest of the team better?
Right. He limits the coverages. And this is the same thing that Colin Kaepernick did. They talked about it when he took the job from Alex Smith. He limits the coverages. You think about it, like you can do cover one, you can do all kind of man coverages against Jimmy Garoppolo because he can't move. You don't ever have to take into account the fact that he might scramble. So if you want to play two deep safeties with man coverage underneath, it's really hard to beat that from the pocket. And where do you go? You got two guys taking away the deep stuff. Everyone else has a guy on their hip. It's very difficult to beat that coverage from the pocket. A lot of times when, like, if Patrick Mahomes sees two man, they call it two man, two deep safeties, man coverage underneath. If he sees that, he'll just scramble. If Colin Kaepernick saw that, he would just scramble
Right.
because no one's on him. Everyone has their back to him. The safeties are 20 yards deep, and he can just take a first down. So you don't see two man against. You won't see two man against Trey Lance. Even
Right.
cover one, that defense has to have someone in the secondary or in the linebacker that is as athletic and fast as Trey Lance. They may or may not. So if they don't, then you're just going to see zone all day, which
Well,
is helpful because the quarterback knows what to expect.
and I think a couple other points is the pass rush isn't going to be as aggressive, right?
Right.
You're only rushing, probably four guys, right? And they've
Right.
got to do kind of a contained, right?
Exactly.
They've got to do a controlled pass rush.
You're trying to keep him in the pocket, not necessarily sack him, because if you go for the sack, you probably miss, and then he'll get out of the pocket, and it's a big play.
Right. And the other thing I wanted to mention was I think it makes our receiving core better. If you look at the skills of our receiving core, it's all run after the catch, right?
Mhm.
But we don't really have guys that are like fantastic route runners or real burners, right? And so I think playing against zone would really be an advantage. I mean, Kittle, if when he gets the ball, he's a monster,
Oh my
right?
God. Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
if he can just sit down in that zone, and we talked a little bit about this on the Discord, if
Yeah.
he could sit down in a zone and just take a 5-yard hitch, and I mean, he can knock someone over, break a tackle, and take it for 20, 25 yards.
Right.
A guy like Debo, same thing, right? If he can sit down in that zone somewhere and he can get the ball and run
Right.
after the catch, right? But we really don't have like elite speed to get away from man coverage or like an elite route runner that can actually break away from man coverage. So,
Mhm.
man, when Jimmy's in there,
Ayuk's the
it's like,
closest. Yeah.
right, how do these guys get open? We lost our best route runner last year in
Right.
what's his name, the tight end. I
Kittle.
can't think of
Oh,
his name.
Reed.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he was the only guy that could really just like toast
Yeah.
man coverage, right?
Right. Yeah.
And we don't really have a guy like that. So if they're going to sit there and play cover two and alternate with like cover one, man, how are we going to beat it with Jimmy in the pocket?
You won't. I really think that cover one and two man, those two, because Coach Jay is saying that cover one's the ultimate coverage. I would disagree with him on that. It can be, depending on what you're trying to stop. I mean, if you're trying to stop a quarterback who moves and throws short, quick passes, then yeah, cover one. You want that robber defender, you want a
Yeah.
spy. But if you going against a team like Kansas City that's trying to throw down the field, then two man is your best friend. You don't want single high. You want two
Yeah.
guys, and you
'Cause
want to
it's-
dare them to run the ball. Because what would
Yeah.
Coach Jay want? He likes that eighth man in the box so you can be strong against the run. But the way the NFL has evolved, man, you want people running the ball. You don't want Kansas City throwing. So what Todd Bowles did to win the Super Bowl was just play two man all day, two man
Yeah.
quarters, and that's what Vic Fangio did back in the day too.
It's real hard for a team to put together like a 10-play drive anymore. You're going to get a holding
Exactly.
penalty. You're going to get behind the chains.
Yep.
That's why this team has played this cover three historically, right? Because
Right.
you make a team go for these long drives, and the offense is going to screw up.
But
at some
again, like if
point.
you have a quarterback who can buy a little bit of time, like Patrick Mahomes, and a ton of speed, cover 3 isn't going to cut it. Cover 1
No.
isn't going to cut it. You really got to take away the deep stuff and encourage the check down from teams like that. So
Yeah.
it's opponent specific, but good topic, man. Good call. Great call.
All
Calling again
right, man.
sometime. Great to see
Yeah,
you.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Your call. I asked on Discord, what should I ask the doctor? You asked exactly what he was going to, by the way.
Yeah, I was surprised that was his. I mean, not surprised, but I wanted to know
You
whether that was
anticipated
the
it.
issue.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I mean, I've played sports. You've played sports, and man, if you're
Yeah.
out there just killing it, and you don't have any rest or downtime, man, I just thought likelihood goes way up. So,
All right, Steve.
all right, man. Appreciate the time.
Take care.